You know, there's something a little bit unusual about Sony, and that's historically with camera brands, you would have either the highest resolution or the highest frames per second would be the flagship. And over the years, Canon and Nikon have always had kind of a flagship. You might have the higher res D850, but then it's still the D5 that is the flagship. Sony have kind of gone a different route. And yes, there is what they call their flagship, but they've had the high res, the R series, or they've had the sensitivity range, the S, or the all-rounder. Then they came out with the A9, the speed cameras, and then they had the A1, which was technically the flagship. But if you wanted res, well, the R was a bit higher res. If you wanted speed, the 9 was a bit higher speed. But the A1 for me always was this kind of amazingly good balance. And when I look at the flagships on the market today, I've just been shooting with the A1 Mark II, testing out the Viltrox 35 f1.2 and the new Sigma 300 to 600, videos on all of that coming soon. This is a bit of a different video. I basically wanted to give it props and acknowledge that this is an incredible camera, and if I were buying a Sony in 2025, this would absolutely be the one. Now, I know, well, a couple of things. I'm a little bit late to the game. This was actually released at the end of 2024. And I think a lot of people were disappointed that after 3 to 4 years of wait, it's using the same sensor as the original A1. On one hand, I get that, and we all like to see a big leap, and we would love to see every specification change in flagships and get better. But in other segments, like, say, medium format, we've been using the same sensors for way longer than that. And if it's a great sensor, well, it's still a great sensor. And still, 50.1 megapixel, 30 frames a second, kind of beats everyone else in the game anyway. Whilst this is a non-integrated grip camera, and from a distance you could confuse it with the other Sonys in the range, on paper, a lot of the things that it's offering actually outperform, like my big integrated grip Nikon Z9, although this is also significantly more expensive than the other flagships. But I really think when I was looking over the system and putting together my Sony Expert Setup Guide, that, by the way, takes you through every one of the cameras in the system, shows you how to get the most out of them, what the differences between them are, goes through their hugely complex menu system. I always felt that the A9 Mark III, whilst it's not for me, I don't want that low res of a sensor, I don't need the global shutter. I can see it has its niche, but I'm not one of the buyers. The body of it was just spectacular. And I kind of thought that comparing it to the A1, the original, that had the older body design and the older sensor, why wasn't the A9 III the most expensive camera by a long way? It has the latest sensor technology and the best of the ergonomics. Well, now I think this deservedly takes the clear head and shoulders title back as the flagship in the range, because not only does it have that great balance of speed and resolution, but it just has the best of the best of the best of everything, including by far the best ergonomic body that Sony has ever produced. I think, period, this is the best camera that Sony has ever produced. Great EVF, much better ergonomics, the dual level command dials on the top plate, 8.5 stops of in-body image stabilization, pre-capture from something like 0.03 of a second up to a full second at all of your speeds, and their best screen, in my opinion, the fully articulated in the cradle, small but goes in every direction and lets you basically do whatever you could want to be doing with it. It really brings the best of the best of the best that Sony has to the game in 2025 all into one camera. Unless you really need the highest resolution and color depth, then the R has the sensor for that. I would love to know your thoughts. Are you a Sony shooter? Is this kind of the jack of all trades or the Halo product that you're aspiring to one day get? Or is it overkill? Or was the update just not enough for you in your opinion? If you are a Sony shooter, then check out that expert setup guide, but also check out my upcoming videos on this guy, the new 35mm 1.2 from Viltrox. It's pretty fantastic, and as you can see, it's relatively small and light compared to the other ones on the market. And my video on the 300 to 600 from Sigma will be coming soon. Really hope that I can be bringing more Sony content to you guys. Met up with Sony at CP Plus earlier this year, but sadly still have no representation or no contacts to Sony in Hong Kong. If you guys are watching, please answer my emails. Let me know your thoughts, guys, and I'll see you soon.